Today, on behalf of the Dutch government, I apologize for the actions of the Dutch state in the past. Posthumously, to all enslaved people worldwide have suffered from that action, to their daughters and sons, and to all their descendants into the here and now. So please, let's have that conversation about slavery's past, even if that's a difficult conversation. Recognition of the horrific suffering inflicted on generations of enslaved people. Recognition of a tribute for all those people who went into resistance. And of course, recognition of historical responsibility with the words that go with that. These words, for centuries, the Dutch state and its representatives have enabled slavery, encouraged it, maintained, and profited from it. For centuries, people have been turned into commodities in the name of the Dutch state, exploited and mistreated. For centuries, under Dutch state authority, human dignity trampled on in the most appalling ways. And too little have we seen and acknowledged to successive Dutch governments after the war of the 1950s, that the history of slavery had and has a negative knock-on effect. We cannot change the past, only face it.
What you just saw there is the Prime Minister of the Netherlands making a public apology. He did this back in December of 2022, and he also made a financial pledge to slowly right the wrongs of hundreds of years. And so I applaud him for doing that. Applaud him for taking that first step. Shortly after his apology, a few months after, the King of the Netherlands also followed suit and made a public apology. Now I want to show you a video of the Prime Minister of the UK, Rishi Sunak. He was asked about making an apology. Take a listen to his response.
This month marks 23 years since the passing of the late great Bernie Grant, a former member of this House and the founder of the UK Reparations movement in the UK. In his last Prime Minister's questions before his death, he asked for an apology to the people of African descent, living and dead, for our country's role in slavery and colonialism. But since then, Prime Ministers and heads of state have only ever expressed sorrow or deep regret. These are not sentiments that are befitting one of the greatest atrocities in human history. And there's been no acknowledgement of the wealth that has been amassed, or the fact that our country took out the largest loan it ever has to pay off the slave owners and not the enslaved. So I want to ask the Prime Minister today if he will do what Bernie Grant asked all those years ago, what I have asked and what countless others have asked since, and offer a full and meaningful apology for our country's role in slavery and colonialism, and commit to reparatory justice.
No, Mr. Speaker. What I think our focus should now be on doing is, of course, understanding our history in all its parts, not running away from it, but right now making sure that we have a society which is inclusive and tolerant of people from all backgrounds. That's something that we on this House, our side of the House, are committed to doing and will continue to deliver, but trying to unpick our history is not the right way forward, and is not something that we will focus our energies on.
Now, if the people of the Caribbean need any more reason as to why we should build autonomy, why we should be cohesive, why we should unite and get along with each other, here it is right here. This is just one of many. The only real strength we have is our unity. And that is the only thing certain people respect. They respect strength, and there's strength in unity. And that is why we should not allow anyone to divide us on the basis of nationalism. In addition to the Prime Minister of the Netherlands and the King of the Netherlands making their public apology, journalists from BBC also made financial pledges to Grenada. They have acknowledged that their ancestors might have got the biggest payout from slavery simply because they had to let loose of their human property, while the slaves, on the other hand, got nothing. I made a video a few months ago about British family going to Guyana and making apology there, making a public apology. And this is based on an article, by the way, that was sent to me by a Vanguard of the Caribbean. According to the article, 2023 is the year of atonement and reparation. The Bank of England recently shared their links and profits, something they have been denying for many years. And the Church of England also 100 million pounds for the wounds of hundreds of years of profiteering and pain. And so you have to applaud them for those initial steps. The royal family, however, has yet to respond. Now, the link for this article can be found in the description box. They also have some other links connected to it that will show you how you can keep yourself informed and how you can assist. You can share your thoughts, ideas, and whatsoever. CARICOM is leading this fight for reparation. And for those of you who've seen some of my other videos, I have my qualms because the nations, the governments is for everyone. They're not there to represent the people of the Caribbean, the real people of the Caribbean. And those nations did not exist when slavery happened. Therefore, reparation should be for the people. If they make reparation for the nations, then the people who are not disenfranchised, the people who come from a more stable background, they're going to benefit far more than the local people. That is one of my biggest concerns with CARICOM going after reparation to pay the nation's debt. Now, the Caribbean people have a major role to play in this. There is something that the people of the Caribbean can do that the government cannot do, and that is that unity, for us to never forget history and for us to always remember that we are a family.